Listen to Blocking It Up with Elon James' wife LJ Williams and Aaron Rand Freeman at 1:30 p.m. Eastern at blockingitup.com.
All right. Miss LJ Williams, what else is on the docket?
Apparently at your black comedy meeting.
What? I'm sorry?
Don't black comedians have a meeting?
What? Well, actually, I think I was drummed out, so I don't get invited to the meetings anymore.
Oh, well, I didn't know if Katt Williams was there.
Oh, well, Katt Williams is obviously the president of black comedy.
Oh. Well, you should have went to the meeting because then maybe you would be able to preempt him being an idiot again.
What? Katt Williams is an idiot? I don't believe it.
Yeah.
I don't believe it.
I just thought he was a moral authority of sorts.
Listen. Sometimes you need a little Katt Williams in your life. I don't understand why you would imply that Katt Williams would do anything that was inappropriate or wrong. Katt Williams is a shining beacon of light and hope within the black community. When he speaks for us all. How dare you imply anything else, Miss Williams?
Oh.
What exactly are you saying happened?
He was on stage and he decided that he was gonna be anti-Mexican on the stage and got it.
No, this ain't Mexico. It used to be Mexico, motherfucker, and now it's Phoenix, goddammit.
Just such a shining light of moral authority.
What I find ironic is, even in watching his stand-up, because I have found him funny at times.
He's funny.
Is that he is so pro-America.
And pimps.
Yeah, well,
pimps.
He's a pimp. A pimp would be pro-America. It's just hand in hand.
Yeah, because of the capitalism of it all.
Yeah, that's what I'm about to say. Why
kind of
wouldn't a
makes
pimp be
sense.
pro-America? Yeah.
Yeah, that makes real good sense.
Yeah, I don't understand what
Pimps are capitalizing on capitalism and exploitation.
They're extremely good capitalists.
Which is at the heart and the very heart and nature of America. Therefore, pimps are the most patriotic citizens we have.
That's a valid argument.
Wow.
Can I point out, seriously,
he's not a dumb guy, though, by the way. I like to maintain he's not an idiot.
He's an idiot. First of all, let's
have you ever actually heard Katt Williams? Katt Williams is obviously in character a lot. Katt Williams isn't a dumb guy.
And okay, here I'm going to give my quick Katt Williams spiel. I have quoted Katt Williams before. He has a joke or two that I actually find funny. But beyond
Pimp
that,
down.
No, I'm not. I don't find that funny. I will fully admit that I find this shit right here hilarious. But past that, Katt Williams is in character most times on stage. Mm-hmm. When he goes on there, he's out there, and because that's not how he actually is. And so I have an issue with that already. I'm not a big character comic guy where you're faking something for your audience. Basically, it's the height of the pandering when he wakes up in the morning, he actually does start to pander. Like, this is what he does for a living. Hey, no. The point is that, okay, so you start with that, right? Also, as of late, Katt Williams has been having meltdowns. It's been documented. He's had a meltdown or three in the past month or two.
Maybe it comes from trying to be in character all the time.
Yeah, I was about to say that probably has a negative effect on him.
I believe he just has some fucking issues. He's on drugs and he does things.
I know,
and so
that's the point, is that he's been in character for a decade now? How long has he been in comedy for?
Yeah, he's been around for a while.
Yeah,
but he's just the fact is that he's having his meltdowns. And so we have that on top of it. And then he's like this what he did here. The best part about it is because he's actually issued an apology. This wasn't if you listen to what he's saying, he's not in joke mode. Joke mode is if you have a Mexican joke or whatever. Let's say you have some Mexican jokes or whatever, and you're firing out your Mexican jokes. Cool. No. He's just talking. He's saying what he's thinking. This is what's going through his head, and he's saying this, and with no possibility.
Are you sure he's not pandering? He isn't. He was in Phoenix.
He's responding to a heckler.
To a heckler, yes. But the point is that he's This is not a planned response.
Right.
This is just him talking, and apparently him just talking is him being incredibly anti-Mexican. And by the way, not factually solid in any shape, form, or fashion about the fact that they gave away California and all that other shit. Yeah, because that's what happened. No, it's like he's speaking from a position of ignorance that I normally put in the corner for white folks. But as a Negro, I would think that he'd have to have some sort of understanding of how this country has worked against minorities for years and how the country was built. I would think he was forced to have an understanding of just maybe a little bit, and he has no clue whatsoever. No clue. And yeah, I'm not a fan, and this is the height of bullshit.
I hate to say it, but he's a 5 foot tall pimp comedian on stage. I don't think the perspective is there. You have to first be like, maybe if he was just Katt Williams, the regular guy, the comedian, then maybe. But like I said, I think perspectives get skewed when you're. And
because I played 7 seconds of a 8-minute tirade he went on. Because like you guys might think, like, Elon, he just said Mexico once, blah, blah, blah. No. He went on. He went on for quite some time. And yeah, it's not this like he made a random, I'm going to make a Mexican joke and then go about his day. No. He went on an 8-minute tirade. And by the way, at this time in our country, really, Negro? You thought that was the best thing to do? Was that the smartest?
But is he thinking about that on stage?
No, but the point is that like, there is a responsibility artists have that you can't just go around doing that. Mm-hmm. You have to have an understanding, especially with the shit that was going on in Arizona and all the stuff and idea of immigration reform and all that stuff. And like you have to be a little bit aware.
Unfortunately, it's not his job to do that. That's your job.
No, it should be.
It's not. I agree with you, but it's like a situation where you have to. It's like, it's Katt Williams,
which is the thing that like it's like the fact that it picked up any heat whatsoever that people started talking about. Like it was like an article in the HuffPo about it, about black and brown relations and stuff like that. All of a sudden, he's now representing Negroes in the conversation about immigration and shit like that. It's like, whoa.
Well, that's the point. There are a million episodes of Blacking It Up, but they'll never get mentioned until you go out on stage and have a coke bender meltdown about something, and then we'll all know about Elon James White, and then all of a sudden listenership will go up because all of a sudden you had a meltdown. It's just the nature of things, unfortunately.
Should I have a meltdown? Is that what I need to do?
If it gets me paid, sure.
Oh, I hate you. That's all you worried. That's all you worried about is like you getting paid, son.
If it increases the percentages, then I'm just tossing it out there.
I'm gonna give a shout out to Monica Novoa over at Color Lines. She actually covered. She's actually the one who put out the article about the comedians of color that you should be paying attention to. And I think she has an interesting take on all this. Monica.
Hey.
Hi, this is Elon James White. How are you?
Good.
Excellent. You are actually on air right now with Eldro Williams.
On air. Did I have intro music?
You did not. Would you like some?
Okay.
I can set something
up. I would
up.
like Sheila E.'s Glamorous Life.
Okay, no. We have got you guys. We are live. We are kicking, and we are currently talking about Katt Williams and his ridiculousness. And I find it's a little bit interesting because like when you first gave me a shout out, you're like, but it's Katt Williams. And I'm like, you're right, it's Katt Williams, and people are giving a shit that it's Katt Williams. How can you care?
Yeah, and I was listening to you guys, and it's interesting because, well, just like you're saying that he doesn't speak for all Negroes, I'm really embarrassed that we're having this conversation. Like, this is the Latino conversation to have right now. Like, I'm not the audience that went and bought tickets. Like, I think that, like, if we think about who showed up there, kind of questionable.
Yeah, that is a valid point. And I would also argue that he was in Phoenix. I would argue that it wasn't a gigantic, large, super big black community. that was at that particular show.
Yeah, I mean, I do think it's important to respond when we think about, like, the environment in which this is happening. But I do think that because his video, got so much buzz and got picked up everywhere, I think people started making him bigger than he really is. And that also, for me, is problematic, because if you didn't have a problem with how misogynistic he can be, with all of his pimp talk, with the way that he talks about slapping women around and doing all kinds of, shit. If you arrived on Saturday, that's what you showed up for. And why is that okay? So I just think that if we're going to have a conversation about this, I really am not interested in having the black-brown conversation about this. I just don't think this is the thing that should spark that. I don't want the gauge for that conversation to be about Katt Williams. Plus, Latinos are not just brown. Like, Latinos come in all ethnicities, shades, whatever. But I do think that there's something to be said about how our generation absorbs, like, pimp mythology and the obsession with talking like pimps, talking about pimping, talking like all of that stuff. That's really problematic to me.
I think you can those are arguments, all arguments that can in fact be made. And it is funny that some people are in fact upset when it is in fact Katt Williams. Like it really is Katt Williams. Like I wish people would acknowledge that way more. But one of the things that you guys are doing over at ARC is the Drop the I Word campaign. Could you go into a little bit of that?
Sure. So the I word is the term illegals and related terms. We really feel that the I word is really racially charged. When people are talking about illegals, they're talking about primarily attacking Mexican people and Latinos. It's also a legally inaccurate word. It's not a word that Supreme Court justices use. It's not a word that's used in immigration court. And it really messes with the conversation. We know that the immigration system is inhumane, and we know that that the system is broken. So when we're putting the onus completely on the people who are most being victimized, it really confuses things. So what we're doing with Drop the I Word is we're asking people to sign a pledge to drop the I Word and ask the media to stop using that language as well. Because it's really language that it's like death panels. It's literally, people have strategized about getting this terminology out there, and it's grown in recent years. And as the term's grown, there have been spikes in hate crimes, and the rhetoric has just de-evolved.
So what is it that you're actually advocating that the language be changed to? Should undocumented Americans be used? What is the terminology that we should urge people to replace it with?
I think there's actually a range of terms that people can use. Most immigrant rights activists use undocumented. Some journalists use undocumented, especially in progressive spaces. But people can say unauthorized, non-citizens. People can be identified with where they're from. And I think that's the thing, is that you can't just... People come here and are undocumented for various reasons. Some people come here with documents and they fall out of status. People come here with student visas. Different things happen. It's a really messed up system. It's a labyrinth. So get as specific. If you're going to talk about a person's case, get as specific as possible. If they're deportees or they're in detention, you can talk about that. Mm-hmm. You can say foreign nationals. You can say, Mexican resident of New York, whatever, but don't use language that's inhumane. That's the most important.
And I think what's important about that in your comments is that the media tries to lump everyone together and say everyone is illegal. And the point I think that you're making that's very great is that everyone is not in that in that situation. Some people, because it's such a convoluted system, and depending on where you fall at any given time, you're here on a student visa, it expires, and having to go through the process of, renewing or staying here is a long process. Or you were brought here as a child. I know plenty of people in my own circle who were brought here as children and didn't know, or the people that brought them here are no longer alive, and then they have to go through a lengthy process of becoming an actual citizen and not being deported to a place that they didn't even know. They got here at 3. How do they know that the other country we were supposed to be deporting them to?
Indeed, we should. I assume we should just drop people places. Like here you go.
Yeah, that part of that part I don't understand. It's just like and I had a friend, a very close girlfriend of mine. She was brought here at 3 from Haiti. Lived here her life, went to school, did all things, and she went to go to college. And her aunt, who had brought her here and raised her here, had passed away, like 5 years from that. She went to go to college and applying and everything, and realized, oh, where's my, my paperwork? Turns out she never had any. And so they were literally talking about deporting her. And she's like, I don't have family. They're like, would deport me where? I went to school here. What do you mean?
It's really scary, and especially the thing is, like, if we look at all of the different countries that people are coming from without documents, it's usually people are either, environmental refugees or economic refugees, or for some reason, if they're coming here, chances are we did something as a country. Like, there's some sort of messed up policy out there that helped to bring that person here, and we're not able to have that conversation right now. If we get rid of the I word, we'll be, we can talk about those root causes and really deal with the larger systems at play.
Indeed. All right. Well, thank you very much, Monica, for coming on the show. And I apologize that I didn't have the proper theme music set up for you. I wasn't. I failed.
What was that song again?
I think it was Glamorous Life.
Glamorous Life.
No problem. Thank you for taking the time to talk to us.
Okay. Oh, go to droptheiword.com and sign the pledge.
And please, yes, check out colorlines.com, droptheiword.com. Will you stop singing